Hey everyone, welcome to Cloudways live webinar with Magento Adobe Commerce Expert. This is your host Abdurrahman, uh, currently working as a community manager at Cloudways. Along with me is our co-host Jyotishna Kumari. She's also our community manager. So just to brief you guys about this session. In this webinar, we will be talking about Adobe Commerce recent release, which is Magento 2.4.6, and the best practices to upgrade the Magento version and Magento updates. Then we will be talking about the community impact and also about the Adobe Commerce growth and extended support feature. So moving to our session, so we have got panel from Adobe Commerce. So in today's session, we have got a panel from Adobe Commerce to share their knowledge and answer your queries. So now let's jump to our first guest. So our first guest is Misha. Misha is our product manager at Adobe, and he has been associated with Adobe Commerce for more than 5 years. Misha, please share a bit about yourself.
Hi everyone, hi Abdurrahman, hi Jyoti. Thank you
Hey,
for introduction. Thank you all for inviting us here to this webinar today. And yeah, let me just briefly introduce myself. So my name is Misha. I'm product manager in Adobe Commerce. I responsible for Adobe Commerce overall release strategy and life cycle strategy. And in addition to that, I'm also responsible for overall Adobe Commerce core quality and platform health. And the most important thing is I'm currently focusing on is performance improvement of Adobe Commerce. I started as a product manager in Magento 5 years ago in Kyiv office, and I was responsible for quality patch, only for quality patch release at the time. At the time we worked on like Magento 2.2 version, I guess, and most of the time I spent with our clients and our support team. I was working on escalations they submit to our support team, and that was a really good experience for me since I learned a lot of Magento platform itself and how our clients and merchants using it. And yeah, that actually allowed me to grow in my current position in Adobe. And then
thanks,
it's
Misha. Thanks for the intro. So our second guest is Stanislav. He's an engineering manager at Adobe, and he has been associated with Adobe Commerce for more than 9 years. So Stanislav, please share a bit intro about yourself.
Right. Hello, everyone. I'm glad to be here and share with you some interesting information, answer your questions. I know how important it is to have like newest versions of Adobe Commerce, some insights, some information, best practices, how to upgrade to the newest versions, how important it is, and so on. A little bit about myself. I joined back in the day Magento in Kyiv office more than 9 years ago as senior software developer. I was a part of the team who developed like a lot of big features in Magento 2. I joined when Magento 2 was not even released. It was in some alpha versions. I participated in development huge features like checkout, asynchronous operations, MSI. Then I would say probably 5 years ago, I joined community engineering team in Magento. We worked with Magento open source community, worked on GitHub, organized a lot of events, meetings, conferences. And recently, I became an engineering manager in Adobe, and right now I'm in charge of release quality processes, overall quality of Adobe Commerce, all of the parts, coordinating and supervising teams, how, in order to get Magento better, Adobe Commerce better. So yeah, that's pretty much it on my side.
Yeah, great. Good to have you, and it's pleasure to have you over here. And then we have Parul. who had made all the possibilities to make this session happen. So Parul, really thank you for making this happen. So basically, Parul is a senior software engineer at Adobe. She has more than 10 years of experience in software engineering. Parul, please share a brief intro of yourself.
Absolutely, and it's my pleasure, Abdurrahman and Jyoti, coordinating this and being on this webinar today. I'm basically with Adobe and Magento for about 6 years now. I've worked in different teams. Earlier, I was with Marketplace team, and now for a year and a half, I'm working with Community Engineering team. So basically, my profile here in this new role is to drive community initiatives, be be a liaison between the community and Adobe. So we're running a lot of initiatives that to foster growth and adoption for Magento open source, and my work is primarily focused on that. I'm really happy, to be part of this vibrant community now. When I'm working very closely with them, I'm super excited, and I'm happy to be here today on this webinar.
Thanks, Parul. Thanks. So, yeah, just before moving to the main session and towards our topic, just want to make a note or highlight that our audience can also be part of this session, and they can share their query with us in a comment section. So, without any further delay, without any further delay, Jyoti, please lead the session with our first topic of the webinar.
Hi everyone. I'm excited to meet you all of the guys, and let me just first start with the topic of the end of the webinar. And as we all know that we have the Magento or Adobe Commerce 2.4.6 latest releases is now 14th of March 2023, and it has a big 300 of over quality improvements, bug fixes, and each of these significant incredible changes into it. So could you guys some more technical guidance over it? So going to you guys, whatever you was first willing to do.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would like to start with some technical details of 246 release that was just recently released. And Misha, if you would like to add something, so please feel free to interrupt me anytime. So yeah, the first of all, like the biggest upgrade for 246, it's support of PHP 8.2. Its newest version of PHP that just was released in the end of 2022, and Adobe Commerce 246 is fully supported. All of the libraries were upgraded to support PHP 8.2, all of the components and so on. So PHP 8.2 includes a couple of really great features, and Adobe Commerce also supports them. One of the really good examples is new way how to include dependencies to constructors. So Adobe Commerce also supports it. So right now, after this upgrade, we can use this advantage of the PHP. So it's one of the good examples how we are supporting the new technologies that just released. Also, we started to support MariaDB 10.6. There is not much difference with 10.4 support that was supported in Adobe Commerce 245. But we still have an article on Adobe Experience League with all of the settings for MariaDB that will provide ability to use maximum performance of the database and properly configure it. So please check our documentation of that. It's publicly available. Also, one of the good upgrades is support of Elasticsearch 8. So previously, for years, Adobe Commerce supported only Adobe, like the latest versions of Elasticsearch was 7. And starting with 246, it supports Elasticsearch 8. We also, this support was released as a separate module, and it's not available out of the box, but anyone interested of adopting Elasticsearch 8 can also check their article on Adobe Experience League with step-by-step manual how to install it. So it's pretty straightforward. It's just a couple of CLI commands and Elasticsearch 8 is installed. Also, we upgraded, in order to support PHP 8.2, a lot of libraries that we are using in Adobe Commerce were upgraded to the newest versions. We are constantly working on that track. We are calling it platform health. So we are basically working on that track for every release. The main goal of it to keep up to date with all of the dependencies we have in Adobe Commerce, and all of the libraries have to be updated from the security perspective, from the new functionality perspective, critical bug fixes, and so on. So I believe that's pretty much it from major updates that might increase some performance abilities and so on. We also have like numerous of improvements, quality improvements that provided bug fix for the product itself, for performance, for quality overall, and so on. So Misha, if I missed something, please feel free to jump.
Yeah, thank you very much, Stas, for covering that. So yeah, so this were basically our platform and system requirements updates, and this is not the only thing which we changed in scope of 246. In scope of 246, we also have a lot of security improvements, performance improvements, and quality improvements, as Stanislav mentioned. And I can just cover some like high-level performance improvements which we released, which are available with 246. We improved. We introduced a new import API for our customers with that API, our customers now able to upload more than 1,000 records and products or customers per minute. So this is huge improvement comparing to previous versions, because previously we didn't have that ability. And for example, customers with large catalogs like 20 million records, it took them like several days to upload it to the system. We also made some performance improvements in admin. We improved our grids. Now for customers with large catalogs, like more than 1 million records in catalog, grids performing like without any degradations, and they can handle any amount of records, because we introduced a new functionality where it's possible to indicate the limit of products loaded in the grid. Another performance improvement I would like to share related to customer segments. Previously, customers with large number of segments, like more than 1,000, they experience performance degradations and general slowness of admin and storefront. And now all of this performance degradations were fixed, and now performs much more better. We also improved our GraphQL coverage. We improved GraphQL coverage and enhanced and fixed a lot of issues in our GraphQL. With 246, we can confirm that our B2B functionality is fully covered with GraphQL, and there were also significant performance improvement in GraphQL as well, related to cart operations and all the category queries were improved as well. In addition to that, in terms of quality, we delivered more than 300 bug fixes in scope of 246, and of course there were functional fixes, but since we are focusing on improving overall scalability and performance of the system, the main topic of quality fixes and main focus was in improvement of our caching and indexation. and we fixed like big number of issues which our customers may experience with caching and indexing. One of them were related to asynchronous indexing. Sometimes they may see that with a large catalog, they may see that the products are not up to date on storefront, and we fixed that issues. And sometimes cache and validation logic was not perfect, and we fixed a number of scenarios with cache and validation. So now it's there is no excessive case flashing. Yeah, I guess that is what I wanted to add about 246 improvements.
Well, that's great to know about these, the 2.4.6 features. And moving into the next topic of the session, and before moving into next gear to the session, I would like to ask from Misha as well, or so what we're going to answer this. And the like in 2.4.6, a lot of people facing the issues on Elasticsearch 8 that you have also mentioned. It's the new feature there. So could you tell some reasons behind this? What's the purpose of upgrading Elasticsearch, and what's the issues they are currently facing over it?
So actually, we introduced a new version of Elasticsearch, Elasticsearch 8, and the main reason for that was because current version of Elasticsearch 7 is going to be end of life soon. I'm not sure if it's already announced. A preliminary end of life for Elasticsearch 7 is scheduled for this year, sometimes in August, but as I understand, it's related to a release of Elasticsearch 9 version, which is not announced yet. So we just by introducing Elasticsearch 8 compatibility, we like giving our customers opportunity to stay on the latest version of Elasticsearch and stay PCI compliant and secure. So this was the main reason of upgrading to providing Elasticsearch 8 compatibility. In addition to that, we introduced OpenSearch, and OpenSearch is now our default search engine for our cloud merchants. We tested 246 with the latest OpenSearch 2.5 version, and we recommend everyone, all of our merchants, to start migrating from Elasticsearch to OpenSearch. But still, we are going to support both OpenSearch and Elasticsearch going forward.
Great to notice that. So let's just shift our gear to the next topic, and that is we have best practices for upgrading the new version. Whenever the new version of the Magento releases, so people are more curious to upgrade to the latest versions, but somehow they always face some issues, like in terms of system requirements, either in terms of technical development requirements, either in any cases. So could you provide some tips and techniques behind this, the proper guideline they should follow, the proper guidance, the code development, the theme deployment they should follow to upgrading to the new versions? It's like hurdle to upgrade to the latest version.
Yes, I can take that and start with some technical details on upgrade. Unfortunately, Adobe Commerce does not provide services of deploying some instances for merchants and so on. So I would say we are not familiar with all of the details that may face during the upgrade or deploying the instance for merchants. We have a lot of Adobe Commerce partners who are doing that for merchants, who are doing that for real stores. They are solution integrators, so they are helping merchants to go live with Adobe Commerce instances. So from their overall perspective, like overall review, I really suggest to check the articles on Adobe Experience League. We have quite of them related to upgrade processes. One of them is called Upgrade Journey Phases. It contains a couple of articles with general information how merchants can launch the project, how they can upgrade it, which phases of launch or upgrade are important, which of them have to be followed, and so on. So basically, we have guides how we can do that, how merchants can install, deploy, and upgrade Adobe Commerce instances, even how they can upgrade from Magento open source instances to Adobe Commerce using cloud and so on. But all of the technical details, they're, I would say, consolidated in hands of our solution integrators, so Adobe Commerce partners.
Yeah, basically this guide, upgrade guide, which Stanislav is referring to, it was developed by one of our partner, which has extensive experience in upgrading their customers, and this is really detailed guide on how to plan, how to execute, and how to plan and how to execute the upgrade of Magento version. And from I would also like to add some strategy comments on this, on the upgrade. So we recently announced our new release strategy when we have only one full patch version release a year, and this means that each of the patch version we are releasing is going to be supported for 3 years. So once customers upgrade to new versions, they have an ability to stay on this version for 3 more years, and we are going to provide them security patches and quality support as usually. So this is a great enhancement in our lifecycle strategy, which gives opportunity for customers to plan their upgrade ahead, so they have 3 years to plan their new upgrade to a new version, and get ready with some budgeting for the upgrade.
And I would like to add, so upgrades they're pretty resourceful for merchants. Basically, every upgrade requires planning, resources allocation, and it's pretty costly for merchants to upgrade to the next patch version. That's why they can stay on the same patch version for a couple of years, and they're not getting updates. That's what we wanted to change with new release strategies. So we will have annual releases of patch versions of Magento that, like Misha just mentioned, will be supported for 3 years. And at the same time, we will be releasing really small, lightweight security releases. And it's pretty easy to upgrade to them because they does not include any backward incompatible changes, like major changes, new features, and so on. I would say it's very small fixes that provides quality, some really critical quality fixes and security fixes. And by following the strategies, so merchants can upgrade to the patch version and stay on it for 3 years. And at the same time, they will be getting all of the security fixes, all of the really critical bug fixes, and so on. So merchant asked us for years for kind of versions that will be supported for a long time, and they don't need to have like upgrades every quarter, every half of the year, and so on. And right now, basically, we're providing this ability. They can stay on the same version for 3 years, and while still getting all of their major and security upgrades on a regular basis. So that should be a really, really good change for them.
Yeah, this is really true. And about our security patches, we are going to release like a new security patch every 2 months, and this is comparing to a full patch release or annual patch release. This is much more. This is like lightweight upgrade, and so when we released like our latest security patches in March, I already got confirmation from one of our customers, they were live on the next 245 security patch very next day after the release. So this is how lightweight those security updates are. One of the confirmation.
Yeah, I just wanted to add one more change with this release schedule. Along with annual releases, we will be having beta releases couple of times per year. It means that all of the extension developers, solution integrators will have ability to test their integration code and so on with beta packages. So they will be getting access to all of the features that already developed and planned for the next release that will be in a year. So basically, we'll be providing ability on a regular basis, get packages with beta code, check all of the new features, dependencies, ability to adopt their integrations code and so on. And I would say it's kind of preparation for the next release. And if extension developers, solution integrators will follow that, they will check every beta release. It means that upgrade to the newest version will be pretty lightweight and smooth because they already adopted their code along the way.
Yeah, thank you, Stanislav. We definitely recommend to, if you're planning to upgrade to new patch version of Adobe Commerce, we definitely recommend to start it and start your planning and validation by using Adobe Commerce beta patches. And since we start releasing beta patches almost a year in advance, it provides a lot of time to get ready for the actual upgrade.
Well, that's a pretty good, awesome techniques and tips involved. I guess that might help Magento developers and merchants too. And you already talk about much about security, so let's just shifting over to the security things. And we know that the Magento is for the e-commerce businesses, stores, and the merchants. And Magento is the best choice, for the e-commerce reseller stores. So even if every vulnerability comes, the Magento always releases a security patches behind it. So it's the science and what's the techniques behind the security patches is as we choose Magento itself for the security reasons. So what are the concerns behind the security patches is?
I can share some general insights on how we are working on security patches. So we do have bug bounty program, and we have so anyone can escalate a security issue to us, and it's going to be fixed right away by our team if it's confirmed by Adobe that this is a security vulnerability. And so we have now this new release strategy when we release a new security patch every second month, and yeah, all the security fixes we are including in those patch releases. They are developed in backward compatible way, so our merchants can apply it without breaking their extensions and customizations. Yeah, what else?
So we are considering I was just sorry to interrupt you guys. I was just concluding that that means the security patches. The only reasons behind this is to overcome the vulnerability.
Yes, absolutely. So we want our customers to stay secure and PCI compliant. So yeah, so we are taking this very seriously, and in the security patches, we are addressing only vulnerabilities which security vulnerabilities. But when we once a year when we release our full patch release, 247, 246, 248, we also improving security overall and developing and releasing new features which help us to prevent future security vulnerabilities.
Yeah, and from the technical perspective, as we talked previously, every upgrade for merchant might be pretty painful because of resources, time, and plan for the upgrade. So it takes time. And the idea of security patch releases, they are very lightweight. They contains only pretty isolated fixes that related to security only, and they don't have to impact any functionality, any integration that already present on merchant's instance. So we would recommend to upgrade to security releases as soon as they released. As Misha mentioned, some of the merchants already go live with security patch releases, even, I don't know, next day after release. It's just one more confirmation that they're lightweight and it's pretty real to upgrade it to, and go live to the next day, because they contains very isolated fixes that are not going to break anything. And they are aimed to fix security breaches, security releases, and keep merchants secure and PCI compliant, as Misha mentioned.
Yeah, so security is like one of the main concerns of Adobe. It's security for our customers. So yeah, we have like a big program in Adobe related to security improvement, and yeah, so like several teams constantly working on the finding and fixing security vulnerabilities, and yeah, this is a huge benefit for our customers that we are releasing the security patches on a constant basis. So we definitely advise everyone, like suggest all the customers to take security patches to stay secure and PCI compliant.
Well, that's the pretty good science behind the Magento security patches and releases. So far we have already, I guess, much more talk about some technical perspectives, and let's some shift towards some gear some to some new topics around here. So what's a part of our session in the webinar also? So we just know that community is the bigger reasons behind the product and the improvements and the science behind improvements of the Magento store. And in the latest releases also there is some latest releases shows that the biggest improvements in the shoes will be based on the words of the community initiatives. So could you some highlight some of these things about the community prioritizations that they have done for and the issues and the words they have decided that will be optimized and will be resolved by the votes of the community?
Absolutely, I can take that. So, Magento open source community is driven by passion for the open source software, right? And Adobe supports the growth and adoption of Adobe Commerce and Magento open source technologies in a number of ways. So, we have a community forum where we constantly post dev blogs that covers a number of topics like the latest release, improvements, upgrades, then progress on the community initiatives that we are making, right? We also publish a monthly newsletter on community forum, and if you are not yet registered or subscribed to that, I would highly encourage you to do so, because those newsletters actually contain updates from both Adobe Commerce and Magento open source, and the latest happenings in that, and as well as upcoming events, features, upgrades, everything is like into that, so it is packed with a lot of information. Then Adobe also has meetups that we kind of encourage people to organize meetups. These meetup groups are basically based on geolocations, so you can go on our meetup.com's Magento portion, and then you can see if there's a meetup group available in your area. If not, you can definitely reach out to me. I'd be happy to add that to your area if you're interested in organizing meetups for idea exchange, that sort of thing. Then we also sponsor a number of events across the globe throughout the year, where you have sessions on Adobe Commerce and Magento open source. The one that I would like to mention primarily would be Meet Magento events across the globe, we are there all the time. And in addition to that, there are a number of events. So that's the thing. And then we also have Slack channel, but a Magento open source Slack channel. If there's for immediate ideas and collaboration, instant messaging, so you can join that as well. And I would like to elaborate a little bit about our latest initiative, which is community prioritization process. We rolled it out a few months ago, and it's basically it's a simple process, but it's very powerful. The thing is, first time, the community members can now influence Adobe's roadmap for Adobe Commerce and Magento open source, because what we are asking under this process is that you log into your GitHub account and you look through all the open pull requests. So currently we have about 900 plus open pull requests, right? So you can go through that and you can upvote the pull request that brings more value to you just by placing a thumbs up reaction. From time to time, we are opening up a voting window. And once that window is opened, you can keep voting, and there's no limit. You can upvote multiple PRs at the same time, right? At the end of the voting window, what Adobe is doing is we are picking a set of PRs which were most upvoted by the community. We bring it onto a community dashboard. And that community dashboard is also available for everyone. Like, you can check the status of the PRs that were pulled into it in real time. We add a label called community picked. We pull it up on the dashboard, and then the internal team works on that. So if you see closely, this whole initiative is basically based on two pillars. One is transparency. For the longest time, we have heard from the community that we are not sure what Adobe is processing, which PRs. So now you have that tool, right? I mean, that's in your toolkit now. You can, whenever you want, go ahead, check the community dashboard, see what is getting processed, see how many PRs got merged, right? So that's one. And the second is, like I mentioned, empowering the community. So you have your voice, right? Now make your voice heard by upvoting the PRs. So those are this is one initiative that I'm really focusing on from Adobe's side. And I also need participation from community, right? We can grow together. And I need your help in that as well. So in whatever capacity you can, in terms of contribution, you can raise pull requests, you can be a maintainer, or if you're just interested in the software, upvote the pull request so that we can pull up what is the most value to you.
Thanks for the information, Parul. Thanks a lot. But let me just ask you one more question behind this, that the community prioritization, this process may not be creating some conflicts around for the technical team also. There's the more upcoming requests are come, the more burden they will face around it. So, meanwhile, we have you have also the new developments around the product also, and meanwhile they have the PRs on upcoming boards also. It's like a good initiative, but it might be, don't you think, some creating conflicts around these the technical behind that?
That's a great question, Jyoti, and I'm glad you asked it, because I also want to let everybody know that in addition to this community prioritization process, like you mentioned, we have so many other things that we work on. But to your question about creating conflict, no, because we are collaborating pretty closely, we are prioritizing, but this is one initiative which is like most important to us, but not there are not other things that's going on. So we are we are in a space where we are collaborating, we are constantly looking into where we need to focus more, but then we have a dedicated set of resources who's working on prioritization process. So honestly, there's no conflict. It's just collaboration.
Exactly, that's the main thing, that you quite have a couple of resources around here so they can work on it.
Yes, we have dedicated resources for the community initiatives, along with processing other things that we have.
Great. And let's just focusing on some other impact also, as we are talking about the community initiative. So let's just moving around some extended support of the Adobe Commerce. So Adobe Commerce, you know very well, it's like been extended for a long time, and it's like what's the thing is that the customers are using it. So what you say in terms of extending support of the Magento Adobe Commerce for the Magento customers even?
Yeah, I can cover that, Jyoti. So first of all, I'd like to mention that we offering paid extended support and this paid extended support is only available for Adobe Commerce customers, and it's not available for our Magento open source customers. And our paid Adobe Commerce customers who are still staying on version 2.3.7 and version 2.4.0, 2.4.0, 2.4.1, 2.4.2, and 2.4.3, and who are not ready to upgrade to 2.4.4 or later versions, they can use this paid offering from our side. And with that paid offering, we are going to provide them security fixes and quality fixes till November 2023. Basically till PHP 7.4 end of life. So once PHP 7.4 will be end of life, this offering is end. So we are not going to provide extended support anymore. And I also wanted to share why we have this offering for our customers. So the main reason for that is that we understand that upgrade to a new version. Let me get back to one step back. So last year in April, we released our new version, Adobe Commerce 2.4.4, and that version was we introduced compatibility with PHP 8.1, and that upgrade from PHP 8.7.4 to PHP 8.1 brings a lot of backward incompatible changes. So that is why that upgrade was a little bit might have been expensive for our customers. And we saw that there's a number of customers who are still not willing to upgrade to a new PHP and Adobe Commerce 2.4.4. And for such customers, we invented this extended support offering. So we are providing like quality patches and security patches directly to customers, and they can be requested via support, via Adobe Commerce support. From a Magento open source perspective, so us being supporting Adobe Commerce versions for our for Adobe Commerce customers, I don't think there is any. I don't see any like effect on Magento open source customers. So Magento open source customers, they should upgrade to the latest 2.4.4 to 2.4.6 version to stay secure.
The highly affected customers are when the Magento 2 initially releases and they were still on Magento 1, and it just announced the Magento 1 support going to be soon, and so that's the troubleshoot part for the customers.
Yeah, we ended Magento 1 support in, I guess, last year, 2 years ago already, and yeah. But I also wanted to mention that we introduced our new release policy when we, in foreseeable future, we are currently not planning to release a minor version of Adobe Commerce. So we are going to continue with patch releases like 2.4.5, 2.4.6, 2.4.7, 2.4.8, and we are going to release them once a year. And according to our new policy, we are like limiting a number of changes included in those patch releases. So usually we include performance improvements, security improvements, quality improvements, and platform improvements. This is the main changes included into those core patch releases. And all the new features we are going to release in form of extensions. We recently introduced out-of-process extensions for Adobe Commerce, and those extensions those extensions, they're not so this improves backward compatibility much more, because our current in-process extensions which we have on marketplace, so every time when we release a new version, you have to make sure that those extensions are compatible with the latest Adobe Commerce version. But with a new out-of-process extensions approach, your extensions will continue working as is, and you will be able to upgrade to the latest Adobe Commerce Core patch without breaking your extensions. So this is, in terms of strategy, what we are doing in order to improve and make upgrade cost less painful for our customers and upgrade process.
Yeah, and from the technical perspective, so I know at least in community, Magento open source, it was blamed for overloaded. It's pretty big framework with a lot of functionality out of the box, like 100, sometimes even 1,000 modules that installed out of the box, and it's pretty hard to maintain them in order to have good modularity inside of such a big application. And this approach with releasing the new features, new functionality in the separate extensions, in separate modules, from the technical perspective, it provides ability to maintain them better. And basically, they can be released anytime. We don't need to wait annually for release all of the functionality at once. We can incrementally release new features during the year in scope of some, I would say, parts using extensions. For example, payment services or quick checkout that recently was bundled with Adobe Commerce as well. So basically, this approach will help us to better maintain parts of the big application, release them anytime, provide critical fixes, security fixes, even release new functionality. So yeah, it's a pretty good strategy, and we are maintaining health and of application itself. So it should be better maintained as well.
Well, that's the better reality to extending support for this, but due to lack of technology and end of support things, you can have control. That's all need to do is end it at the support.
So yeah, guys, really thankful to all of you for sharing this information and insights with us. So I'm really thankful to you guys for being part of this session and sharing these insights and information with us. So these kind of sessions are mostly time bound. So it's the time to conclude the session. So just before concluding or ending this session, just if you guys can share just one last thought or any final words about Adobe Commerce, or you would like to share any insights about Adobe Commerce. So I guess this time we can start with Parul.
Sure. So my one word will be in the form of an appeal to the community, which will be engage. Engage in whatever capacity you can. If you're a developer, we would be happy if you can, give us some pull requests, solving issues, or you can report issues. If you're not a developer but you're passionate about this technology, attend events, organize meetups. So my appeal to the community will be to engage so that together we can make this technology, Adobe Commerce and Magento open source, better, that we are so passionate about.
Thanks, Misha. Thanks. So Parul, thanks. Misha, moving to you. Any last thoughts? Any last words?
Yeah, so thank you very much, guys, for having us today. And I also want to say to our customers and community members that we are working really hard on improving quality, security, performance, and scalability of Adobe Commerce platform. And at the same time, we are working hard on making our upgrades less painful and we are making sure they're as smooth as possible for our customers. So with every new patch release, you will see improvement and gradual improvement of our Adobe Commerce platform.
Thanks, Misha. So over to you, Stanislav.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to support everything that, Parul and Misha just said, and especially want to emphasize importance of the upgrades. No matter which upgrade we have, it's security upgrade or even patch upgrade. I know sometimes it might be really painful and resourceful to do that, but we are working really hard to bring all of the fixes, security fixes to merchants to get their instances, their businesses better. And we are working to have these releases as lightweight as possible to provide the ability to keep all of the stores secure and, all of the businesses secure. So please upgrade as soon as possible, as soon as new versions are released.
So honestly, guys, I found it really informative and really insightful session, and I guess our audience have loved it too. So we'll continue to come up with more sessions similar to it. So stay tuned with the Cloudways and take great care of yourself and your loved ones. So once again, thanks everyone for being part of this session. Okay, bye bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.